Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, so I'm going to talk about video games. I'm going to talk about Xbox, and I'm going to talk about what feels like the end of Xbox as a platform, or at least as a console. It seems like Microsoft is moving in the direction of turning Xbox into a Steam-like platform, right? That you can play Xbox games wherever you play games, whether it's on a PC or a PlayStation 5 or a Switch 2 or whatever the hell else is coming out. And I think they're conceding the console wars. That's what this feels like to me. I think what they're going to do is Microsoft is going to make games. They've got different studios making games, and they're going to put those games wherever they can put them. But I feel like they might very soon nope out of the console race, kind of like Sega did. Sega did this back in the early 2000s. They basically got tired of coming in last place every generation, and they're like, it's going to be more profitable for us to just make games. Whether or not they were successful at that could be argued, because a lot of the games that came out post Dreamcast were not that great. But this does seem to be the direction that Microsoft is moving in. And I don't know if it's going to be this next generation or the generation after that, but there really is no point to having an Xbox console if you're going to put your games on every other platform, right? Because exclusives make consoles worth buying, not a 6-month exclusivity window or whatever, but actually being an exclusive to that console. And Sony, it looks like they're trying to pivot back to a more Japanese audience, given some of the hiring decisions lately. And I seem to think that they're going to go back to making more games, maybe like Astro Bot, stuff that's more fun, and try to compete maybe more with Nintendo. And of course, Nintendo's Nintendo. They're not going anywhere. But yeah, I don't know, guys. There's some things are being said by Phil Spencer that seem to indicate that they are absolutely positively just turning Xbox into a platform. This is something we talked about last year, because Xbox is in last place in the console wars. Actually, I keep forgetting they have Xboxes. Nobody talks about the Xbox except the Xbox stand. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, hey, you've got a couple of days yet. You can back the Shadowbinder pin set on Kickstarter. We're doing a couple of light campaigns over the next few months to try to get our bearings over on Kickstarter, and then eventually we're going to move all of our campaigns over to Kickstarter and use BackerKit for fulfillment, and just kind of do what everybody else is doing. I'm getting kind of tired of yeah, we'll use Indiegogo. Yeah, we'll use our website. Yeah, it's like, now, you know what? Kickstarter's the brand. We have not had any issues personally with Kickstarter. So I'm like, that's where everybody goes. So I guess that's where we're going to go. Not trying to be too different here or too weird, but check it out. You got a couple days. You have to go on the Shadowbinders pins, and then we have a couple more pin sets coming up. Crimson Wren 2 is coming up later this year, as is our first actual tabletop game. And there might actually be a game before Adventure Engine. So stay tuned for all of that. Again, that's out on Kickstarter. I'll put the link in the description for you in the comments. So yeah, Phil Spencer basically saying we're going to put the branding on, different platforms on all of our presentations. So if Xbox is, they're talking about a Microsoft game or whatever Xbox release, they're also going to throw a PlayStation 5 logo on it or a Switch logo on it. Right. And again, this reminds me very much of Sega. They know they lost. We can talk about that because, just a couple of weeks ago, Microsoft said its revenue dropped 7% in Q2 2025, while Xbox hardware sales dropped 29%. 29%. Right. Why buy an Xbox anyway? Because it's basically just a cheap ass gaming PC that you can't upgrade. And if they're not even going to have exclusive games, what is the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the point of an Xbox now? I don't think there really is one. And that's why I think they're pivoting the way that they are. But yeah, 29% revenue drop. And apparently the Activision Blizzard acquisition was not profitable for them either. We talked about that before. They're not making a lot of money on that. So anyway, Phil Spencer. Let's go back to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer says Xbox is done trying to convince PS5 and Switch players to move over. I'm not trying to move them over anymore. Over the weekend, he had an interview where he said they said the Xbox boss talked lots about the future of Microsoft's gaming business, including what's next for the team and its desire to release games wherever players want to play. When asked about becoming Sega, there we go, and effectively going third party, Phil reassured fans investing in our own platform is important, but that Microsoft is not trying to move all of them over to Xbox anymore. I think the long term, I think they might get one more generation out of an Xbox, piece of Xbox hardware. And then I think after that, it becomes Steam. It becomes a Steam competitor. And you just play Xbox wherever you're at. I mean, really, if you have a decent gaming PC, why do you need an Xbox? Right? I mean, there is literally no reason to have an Xbox. There are people, whether it's their libraries on PlayStation or Nintendo, whether they like the controller better, they just like the games that are there. And I don't want them to, or I don't want to then look at them and say, well, there's no way we should be able to build a business there, find fans of our franchises there. I'm not trying to move them all over to Xbox anymore. People were also invested in where our games are. Let's just allow more people to play. So that right there tells me that, yeah, they might, and notice how he says it. He said, investing in our own platform is important. Okay, he's not saying we're making a new console, because a platform could be Xbox as a service like Steam, where you basically just, put the games up for sale on the Xbox app or whatever, or you release your games exclusively through the Xbox app like Epic, and you don't have the overhead of making consoles that people apparently aren't buying. We got this one from IGN. I know it's not what everybody else is doing. Xbox boss Phil Spencer will keep on putting PlayStation and Nintendo logos in Microsoft showcases. People should know the storefronts where they can get our games. Again, Xbox is going to become a storefront, I think, before it's all said and done. Microsoft, you might have noticed, this comes from IGN, now flags that its games are coming to rival platforms during Xbox showcases. It's something we've seen in recent months as part of the company's multi-platform video game push. For example, the recent Xbox Developer Direct included PS5 alongside Xbox Series X and S, PC and Game Pass at the end of the Ninja Gaiden 4, Doom the Dark Ages, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33 segments. I haven't heard of that last one. Ninja Gaiden 4 I'm interested in. Doom the Dark Ages I'm interested in. As recently as the June 2024 showcase, that wasn't the case. Doom the Dark Ages was announced for PlayStation 5 immediately after the event, although subsequent individual trailers did feature the PS5 logo. BioWare's Dragon Age The Veilguard was shown as coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC, skipping the PS5 version. Same for the Diablo 4 expansion, Vessel of Hatred, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Sony and Nintendo continue to take a different approach. The recent State of Play showcase did not mention Xbox at all, even though it included multi-platform games. For example, Monster Hunter Wilds finished with a release date and PS5 logo only. No word on Steam, PC, Xbox. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which was Sega's, was shown as coming to PS4 and PS5, even though it's also coming to Steam, Xbox, Nintendo Switch. Same boat for the Metal Gear and Onimusha. Sony clearly is sticking to what worked for its gaming business for decades now, reinforcing its consoles as PlayStation's point of interest. Microsoft's well-documented change in strategy, however, has come with a corresponding change in marketing. I'm telling you what's going on, guys. This is it. This is the end of Xbox. Again, they might have another console in development. It might come out, but this might be the last physical Xbox console, or they start selling like Xbox PCs or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just Xbox as a video game console is pointless, especially if you're releasing all your games everywhere, right? And they're dead last right now. Which is crazy because a couple of years ago, PlayStation was getting its ass kicked by Xbox just because you couldn't find a PS5. In an interview with Xbox Era, Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer was asked directly about Xbox showcases. Hey, this is the Band-Aid off, guys. There's still going to be different decisions, but this is the new era. Get used to the way things are going to be. How would you frame that to the community? And he said, I think it's about being honest and transparent as to where the games are showing. We actually even had this discussion last year for the June showcase. I want to be transparent with people for shipping on Nintendo Switch. We're going to put the logo up for that for PlayStation on Steam. People should know where they can get the games. Yeah. So I think that, again, they're going to argue it because they want you to buy the Xboxes that are on the shelves right now. But I totally see a day in the very, very near future where Microsoft/Xbox becomes Sega 2.0 and they just make games. It would be cheaper for them to just make games and distribute them on other people's hardware because, again, you get stuck with these machines. And Microsoft is not a company that wants to be, I don't think that wants to have a lot invested in physical stuff, in tech sitting in warehouses or whatever. I mean, Microsoft historically has been mostly a software company. And, they don't want to have a lot of physical overhead, I don't think. Just my opinion based on what I'm seeing. But there it is, guys. I think we could be looking at the end of Xbox. Again, check out the Kickstarter. You got 3 days to go. Thank you very much for the support. We will talk to you guys later.